BPA Bowling University proudly presents this webinar in thanks to the dedication and hard work, primarily of our education committee, but all the volunteers that help make the BPA the great thing that it is. We thank you all for your commitment. I'm Kelly Bednar, and I welcome you to the Online Education and Management Certification Program webinar.
Unmuted.
You today by Gerald Morrow. Gerald, turn it over to you.
Hey, Kelly. Thanks again. Thank you for everybody that has joined us. Excuse me, over the last couple weeks. We've been looking at the online education and training programs offered here through Bowling University. Today, we're going to focus specifically on the Online Education and Management Certification Program. Week 1, we talked about training and education and a little bit about the differences. Week 2, we talked about the on-demand online training. And so to wrap it all up here in week 3, we're going to talk about the Online Education and Management Certification Program. Kelly's going to be on the back office computer here. So if you have any questions, comments, feel free to type those in the questions window, and he will bring those to our attention and answer them as well. And then we're going to have a couple of general managers joining us a little later on, and they can tell you some of their experience with the program. But first, as we get started, let's see how many of you joining us today have actually taken one of the Online Education and Management Certification Program courses. Again, these are the courses that started out as the online program here at Bowling University, and looks like we got some people reporting in. Again, if you don't know if you've taken a on-demand training course or the online education course, no worries. We're going to look at that so that way you can kind of see what courses are available and look at the program. And it looks like we've got everybody in. So let's take a look at the results. And 40% say they have, 40% say they haven't, and 20% say they can't remember. So again, we got a good mix here, and we're going to go through the program and talk about how you can begin and get started in the program. So like I said, our agenda today, we're going to try to move through pretty quick. Don't want to tie up too much of your time on Friday. We're going to talk about the program, the differences between the on-demand training program and the online education program. How do you get started? And like I said, we're going to bring in a couple of general managers and talk about some just ideas and suggested best practices. So let's jump right in. Like I had mentioned before, we had talked about training. So now we're focused on education. So here's the primary definition of education. And in the training, we're talking about how to do things. And education is about the questions and why we're doing it. So this is where we're going to a different level with our team and ourselves. And a big difference in the program, with this program, it's a little more structured. So students get to self-register online monthly for the courses they want to take during that session. It's a real simple process, and we'll walk through that here in a couple minutes. The registration deadline, just for ease, is the first Wednesday of every month. Now, this is key because, again, this program is more structured. So there is a registration deadline. The courses begin on the second Wednesday of the month. So we've got to get all the information from you guys, what courses, all your information, and supply that to our hosting college, Anne Arundel Community College, which allows them to put the students into the system, and then in a week we're able to have those courses up and ready to go. The courses always end on a Sunday, and it's usually the last Sunday of the month, but depending on how the calendar falls, sometimes it's not exactly the last Sunday, but you get about 2.5 weeks to take the courses. And in this program, unlike the on-demand program, we have just over a half dozen courses right now. But in this program, there's 30 plus courses in 9 different categories. And we're going to look at those 9 categories and look at a couple of those courses later on. But there's also certifications, and you can get certified in a specific area, and we'll touch on that later on in the webinar. With these courses, we only recommend taking 2 to 4 per session. And you might say, well, I can get more than 4 courses done in a month. But these courses take a little bit more time, are going to require a little more critical thought to get off the computer and actually do something and come back and put that information in, and there'll be an exchange possibly with a subject matter expert as far as trying to make sure they understand the concept and are applying the idea to whatever they are learning. So these courses take anywhere from an hour and a half to as long as possibly 3 hours, depending on the course and if it's a lab and different things like that. So we got different levels within each of the categories. And again, we talked about the on-demand program being frontline, everybody, kind of compliance training. These courses in the Education and Management Certification Program are designed specifically for supervisors, managers, or those that are aspiring or that you've identified in your team to move into those roles. So how does this fit into your program, and where do we go with this? We've talked about the 5 E's of onboarding a new team member. Of course, you employ them, you get them engaged through the on-demand online training, you get them excited. Now we want to take them to another level. We want to educate them so we can empower them, because again, these are going to be your supervisors and managers. So we want to give them the education they need so they can go through and be able to feel empowered to make decisions for your business and for the center, so that way the general manager doesn't have to be there all the time, or the proprietor doesn't have to be there all the time. You've trusted these people, and so you're giving them and providing them the education to empower them to make decisions. So how do we get started with this? It's real easy. Go to bowlinguniversity.net, and if you see up at the top there, there's 3 tabs, online education. In that drop down, you got the second one down, it's the Online Education Management Certification Program. Just click on that, and this takes you to the home page here for the program, and anything you need to know about it. There's some FAQs, there's videos, there's important dates with deadlines and all that kind of stuff. You'll find all that over on the right-hand side. Now, the big thing that everybody wants to know, okay, let me get registered. Let's go ahead and get this program going. Let me get a couple people, maybe myself, into the program. Register Now button's right over there on that, in that menu over on the right hand side, and it's just that easy. You click on that and you pops up the registration page. Just need a few basic pieces of information, so you can do this, or you can send this link right to your team members and say, hey, this is what I want you to do, these are the courses I want you to take. Go on there and fill it out. Everybody's got to have a first and last name, of course, and the big 2 pieces of information that we need working with our hosting college is the date of birth, month, day, and year, and a unique email address. So we can't use abclanes@whatever.com for all of your employees, because each of these employees will have an individual record that will be kept with the hosting college, and that's how they can log in and out of their account. We can verify which courses they've taken and go from there. So once you complete those few pieces of information on step 1, it takes you to step 2. Here it's pretty straightforward. You go down this list and you can scroll down the 30 plus classes, click on the courses you want to take. But like I said previously, let's make sure that we stick to that 2 to 4. Again, we want to make sure that you have time in your schedule to get into these courses, take your time, and learn, and be able to not feel stressed out taking these courses. We know all of you have really busy schedules, and we don't want to add to that. We want to try to get you involved in the program, learn a few things to kind of help you progress forward. So again, 2 to 4 courses. Each of you have slow times during the year. You know when that is. Maybe at that point you take a few more. If you sign up for all of them, you're going to get a nice little email from Sherry or myself that will advise you that, hey, here's how we can take them and break them up for over the next few months. Again, we want to help you use the program and take benefits from this program. So you're probably wondering, okay, how do I find out more about the classes? Well, of course, on the main page there over on the right, you've got courses. So if we take a look at our courses, like I mentioned before, there's 9 categories. Within those 9 categories of courses, there's several courses under each of the categories. So we got customer service, entertainment income, food and beverage, maintenance, marketing and sales, are all the different categories. So let's take a look inside marketing and sales. And within marketing and sales, you'll notice there's several courses there on the left-hand side. You've got Introduction to Strategic Marketing, Building Retaining Customer Database, Customer Demographics, the Outside Sales, and the Annual Sales Promotion Plan. If you notice, these courses are arranged in order from pretty much 100 level to 300 level. So as you start out, that 100 level course is going to go over the basics and start to build some basic information, some basic knowledge. As you progress through those courses, they will add to that. So we don't recommend jumping in here right away and going right to that 300 level course or right to a lab because those courses are going to refer back to the previous courses. So quickly, that's a look inside the courses. So you're probably going, okay, how do we get these started? When's the best time to use these? And a lot of times what we want to think about is after that probationary period. During that probationary and that hiring period, we're focused on just telling them how to do what they need to do in order to have some confidence to be able to go out there and handle our guests. But after that period, we want to continue their learning. And maybe it's in a specific area. Maybe they're going to work more so in the back of the house or more so in the food and beverage area. So then we can look at that specific category and develop a growth plan to get them in there and get them educated in that area. Again, trying to develop them into that manager or supervisor. And you can also use this in that whole goal setting and evaluations process. At this time, let's go ahead and bring in a couple of our general managers. We've got Ryan Benner from Spares, in Spares Davie in Florida, and Joe Rosner, the Summit, Windsor, Colorado. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good, doing well.
Morning.
So both of you have been in the program and have taken several courses. I know Joe has completed his food and beverage certification, and both of you, if I'm not mistaken, currently are working on your marketing certifications. Let's start out first with Joe. How did you guys get this program up and running in the center and get your employees engaged?
Well, I think the first step was analyzing the needs of the center and the goals of each department, and sitting down with each manager, and kind of reviewing what courses they could take that would positively impact them and teach them more about how they can be better at their job. So that was the first part, is just, understanding what our priorities and goals were, and then, looking at the courses. And then it helped talking to you, Gerald, or Sherry as well, to figure out the sequence of courses and what made the most sense.
Great. I'm glad we were able to help out. And of course, Sherry and myself and all of us here in the education team are always there. We're kind of like counselors. We know the courses and are available to answer questions to kind of put that plan together. Ryan, same question to you. How did you guys kind of get things started there at Spares and Davie?
I think Spares was one of the earlier adopters of the program. I know Joe Schumacher was a past BPAA president, and he brought me over. I came over from a competitor that I had lots of years with, and he kind of introduced me to this program. It was something that we were doing at the center, but I don't think it was as involved. It wasn't everyone that was involved with it as far as the managers. And I know when I look at like our mission statement, our vision statement, that we believe that we'll grow by expanding the capabilities of our people, and our business will grow to the extent that our people grow. And we value learning, and we seek out individuals with the potential and developing those who have the desire to grow. So I saw the need to kind of expand that program to the next level and help enroll other managers and aspiring managers. And that's kind of where it blossomed into being more involved than maybe what it was prior to my arrival.
Awesome. Yes, you guys are definitely big users of not only the education program, but also the training program as well. So for both of you, how has this made an impact in the center? A lot of times it's hard to say, well, if I do this, I'm getting this kind of ROI. What kind of impact has it made with your team members and your guests? Either one of you can go.
Well, I would say, it provides deeper insight into the business and the science behind the business. So, managers, if they come to you, with an idea on how to drive revenue in a certain day part, or build leagues, or, increase game room revenue if you're an FEC, it helps them understand how to build a solid business plan. Not just come to you with an idea, but come to you with the idea, the steps that they plan to take from A to Z, and how they're going to track that. And that's really been powerful for my managers, is seeing week over week over the last 2 years that we've been heavily involved in building up our involvement. We've really seen the managers stepping up, taking more ownership, taking more initiative, becoming more innovative in their ideas as well. And that's a big result of the way that the training modules transfer that knowledge to you through the university courses.
Great.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Ryan.
And to add to what Joe was saying too, is I think that with our center here in Davie, it's also increased the knowledge and the quality of our team. And the biggest thing that I noticed is that the turnover rate is definitely reduced with that, and the engagement, just like you talked about earlier in the webinar, the 5 E's, but the engagement has increased. And, I have a really solid core management team that's involved in the business, and they've learned new things, and then they've continued on to other tracks to help increase their knowledge in different areas that wasn't part of their job before.
Awesome. So I'm sure a lot of people out there are kind of like, okay, I'm kind of nervous. What if I train my team and then they leave? But like we always teach here at Bowling University, it's one of Kelly's favorite sayings. He goes, if you train them and they leave, but what if you don't train them and they stay? Did either of you have that sitting in the back of your mind? Ryan, you were just saying that you've had a lower turnover. Do you think that the training and education has had an impact in your turnover rate?
I think it has, and I think that if people are going to learn and they're going to grow, that's something that I think that we should push in that direction, even if they leave us to go do something else. This business can be a stepping stone for a lot of individuals. I know throughout all my years, we've had employees that are students or part-time or working a second job. And if I can help them learn and grow, and they're going to give us benefit while they're here, even if they take that knowledge and go somewhere else, I can live with that, because I've helped them as individuals. And we've also helped our business in the interim period. So I've seen benefit both ways from it.
Awesome. Great. Are either of you guys doing any kind of incentive program?
Are you talking about like Smart Buy, or are you talking about incentives for people to take the training?
To take the training. So, are you doing anything to kind of give them an incentive, or kind of go through and say, hey, if I complete it by this date, or part of their possible promotion process, anything like that?
Yeah, we implement 30, 60, and 90-day goals for each of the supervisors and departments over at the Summit in Colorado. And, for us, it helps because we can, when one of my managers or supervisors comes to me with their proposed goals, then we can look at the courses and say, okay, here's 2 courses that I want you to take over the next 90 days. Let's do it over the next 30, so that then you can apply that to your 90-day goal. So we do build that into their ongoing initiatives. And what's really rewarding for the managers, quite frankly, is getting the certificates of completion. All of my managers at their desks and workstations, they have them proudly displayed, and when you walk into the GM's office, I've got my wall of certificates, so it's that's a big part of it is that they're feeling the incentive. I don't know how else to put it besides they're getting more knowledge. Their job becomes easier and more fun. And like Ryan was saying, the turnover becomes less. And then also when you do turn the good people over, they're training. This good person is training the next person coming in, setting that bar and that standard. So even if you are turning over good people, your good people are training the new replacements.
Awesome. Really good stuff there. Good stuff. So if there was one thing that either one of you could tell somebody out there that's kind of on the fence about starting the training or education program, what would kind of be that one piece of information or that one suggestion to kind of get them going and to get people involved in the program?
I know here I would say speak with your local association and the education department at BPAA and find out if there's any special offers. I know that our local association, BCAF, offers the unlimited subscription for its members, which allows all the centers in the state unlimited access to the classes. So when it's already paid for and it's all inclusive, it's a no-brainer. But even if you had to pay for the classes, the ROI exceeds the cost.
Man, a good segue there. Go ahead, Joe.
And in addition to that, that's so important to speak to your local association. And then also, again, you need to prioritize the needs of your center. And when you talk to Gerald or Sherry or any one of the staff at BPAA University, they will be candid about your needs of your center and your challenges. They will provide the insight on how to outline the training intelligently and around your workload. And, there were some months I took one course, some months I took 4 or 5. It depended, though, on how long they took, what that kind of workload and thought and time investment, really entailed. But that's the critical thing, is just being candid with Gerald and the team at BPAA. And then they can help you give really pointed direction. That's what I found over the last 2 years, is they gave me such good direction on when to take the courses that I really felt that the time I invested in every one of them was just right.
Very much appreciated, guys. We're just here to help you out and provide the best possible information and solution for each of your unique centers. Like Joe and Ryan alluded to, some states, if your state is up on the screen currently, your state has paid and covered the cost of the subscription service, which includes not only the education courses that we talked about today, but also the on-demand online training courses. So if your state's up there, you can reach out to us directly here at BPAA at Bowling University, and Sherry, myself, or Kelly will be happy to help you. Or you can reach out to your state association, and they can give you all the information and, again, get you started taking advantage of this state member benefit. So thank your local state associations for this. If you're not up on the screen, then the online subscription service is available to you at a center level. It's just $99 per month. But like both Joe and Ryan said, the ROI is huge when you think about training and educating your team, and they're out there dealing with your guest on the front line. So think about that. As a bonus for signing up for the webinar, if you're not in a subscription state or you're a non-member on the webinar, you're going to get an email later on today. And during the month of April only, you can sign up as many team members from your center for Intro to Strategic Marketing. Again, this is a beginning level marketing course. It gives you a good idea and a preview of the program and how things are. And again, this is not just for you yourself that was on the webinar, this is for anybody at your center. So if you've got 15 people, hey, sign them up. We'll get you in the April session, and we'll make sure that that you guys have a good preview of the program and see if it's something that you want to take advantage of. Again, we want to make sure that we thank everybody for joining us today. Thank Ryan and Joe. Again, like I said, Joe completed his food and beverage capstone, and is that right, Kelly, that he just completed his marketing as well?
Yes, Bart just said this morning that he has approved his capstone submission, and he has completed his marketing capstone as of this morning. So congratulations, Joe, on there. And since you just went to questions there, I'll just keep going. We did have a question come in about a little bit more on the procedural stuff, but a great question at that. Are the logins the same for the two programs? They could be, but probably not going to be, because we assign you a login for the program through our partner organization with the Anne Arundel Community College in our Canvas LMS, and you select your own password for the training program. So you do leave one learning management system and move into a new management system as it's structured here today. So yes, there is, you could use the same email as your login, if you will, but realistically, you're probably going to have two different logins. That's a great question. Glad it was asked.
Good point, Kelly. Yeah, these two programs are on two completely different platforms. Again, the on-demand online training is geared towards that onboarding, new hire type program, and that one is just that. You hire somebody, 5 minutes later, you got them in there doing some basic training courses. With the education, again, it's more structured. We've got a hard start and stop time. You're working with a subject matter expert, and we're dealing with a different LMS through Anne Arundel Community College. So as you see up on your screen now, it definitely looks a little different, has a different feel, as we sometimes say, a more academic feel with this program than the on-demand online training program. So just kind of gives you a quick idea of the differences. We have any more questions out there, Kelly?
Nope, that was our only question that had come in that wasn't answered either through the internally in the behind the scenes, or that you didn't actually answer, or Ryan or Joe didn't answer inside the actual presentation. I would like to just personally thank Joe and Ryan for coming on and taking some time out of their busy schedules to share their thoughts on the program and how it's helped their bowling centers. I would hope that all of you take those words to heart and increase your usage to help the performance of your center also.
Definitely thank you guys for coming on, and Kelly, thank you for being here and helping us out and putting this on. And we're getting to the bottom of the hour, so we're going to wrap it up. But if you have any questions, again, you can always give us a call here at Bowling University. Sherry, myself, or Kelly would be happy to help you and explain everything and give you more information. And like Joe and Ryan talked about, we're here to help you and make the best use of your time and guide you to which courses are going to help you the best, whatever your situation is. You can always email us if you don't have time to give us a call at education@bpaa.com. And again, thank everybody for joining us, and we will have this webinar up on our website so you can go back and watch it. And for everyone, you're going to get an email. Those that are in subscription states, we're going to remind you April 4th is the deadline to get into the April session. And for those of you that are not, you're going to get one chance here in April to sign up for the Intro to Strategic Marketing course and get a chance to preview it. Again, thank you to everybody for joining us. Thank you to Kelly, and thank you to the Education Committee and all of our volunteers. Have a great day.